Tom Dwan is known for his wild, extravagant, crazy bluffs, but in this hand, he has a full house. However, it's not the best hand.
Impossible.
Let's see if he can find a masterful fold.
Oh boy, a boat over boat situation for Steve now, and Tom Dwan is in deep, deep trouble.
Can you beat it straight?
Can I pay to see one?
No, definitely. They're both 210s. How can I show you one?
I mean,
Somebody's definitely losing if I show one. Yeah, look at you tilt there.
In this episode of Weekly Poker Hand, we are playing 200, 400 on Hustler Casino Live, roughly $113,000 deep. Super deep stack game. Brittany, under the gun, limps with Queen 8 of diamonds. Tom Dwan in the hijack calls with pocket sixes. Steve in the small blind calls with 10-9 of diamonds. And Ryan Feldman checks with the Ace 7 offsuit from the big blind. Let's head to the flop.
Four ways once again. Eight.
The flop comes 10, 9, 6, 2 spades. Steve has top 2 pair. Brittany has a double gut shot straight draw. And Tom Dwan has bottom set. Steve opts to lead. An interesting play. He bets $800. Brittany, with her draw, calls. And then Tom Dwan, in position, has to figure out if he should call or raise. Let's see what he does.
I knew that couldn't just be a call.
3, 7.
Yes.
3.7 there?
That's correct. 3.75.
What?
Yes.
Okay. It's weird. It's like you're in the military. It's like a scene of stripes.
he gets 100 back.
He pulled it.
With bottom set and a multi-way pot facing a small bet and a call, you usually want to raise. Now, this is a spot where Tom could be against the 8-7 or pocket 10s or pocket 9s, but more often than not, he's going to be against a 10 or some sort of draw or maybe even some sort of 9. So he wants to raise and get money in the pot. He makes it 3,700. With top 2 pair, re-raising is again an option, but I think calling is ideal. That is what Steve does. And then Brittany closing the action with her double gut shot has an easy call, even though there is a flush draw available. You do have to be careful when there's a flush draw available when you're drawing to a straight, especially when you're not drawing to the nuts, as is the case for Brittany. But I think closing the action, getting okay odds, sticking around and trying to spike a straight is fine.
700.
700.
The turn is another 10, giving Steve a full house and crushing Tom Dwan. Steve makes another very interesting play. He bets tiny, $700 into the 12,700. This is really tiny. Brittany, with her draw, of course, calls. Now let's see what Tom does, given they are playing with $110,000 remaining in their stack with a bad full house.
Call. If I call fast, she folds. See? He taught me that trick. How much is?
7, 6.
Probably betting 400 on the river. I'm just going to let you know that. Come on.
Facing the tiny bet, you need to raise with pocket sixes. While Tom could be behind, he really only loses to 10-9. and pocket 10s and pocket 9s and 10-6, but Steve may not even play all of them, and the pocket 6s blocks some of them as well. Also, pocket 9s and pocket 10s may not lead small on the flop. 10-9 may not lead small on the flop. Clearly it did this time, but this is a scenario where pocket 6s are almost always good, and Tom wants to play for a lot of money. If only he knew what Steve had. Tom does make a chunky raise to 7,600. This is a raise size designed to charge a 10 as much as you possibly can. Also, if you are against the straight, you can charge that too. Now, if you think Steve's range is somehow very marginal because you think he would lead the flop tiny with a 9, call a raise, and then lead the turn small with a 9 and call a small raise, then maybe a smaller raise would be ideal. But if you are trying to get value from a straight or a 10, I think you can go pretty big given the stacks are very deep. I maybe would have even gone bigger than Tom went. I'm not sure of Steve's general tendencies, but given he led tiny on the flop, called the raise, led tiny on the turn, he may be known to be a very creative player. Given his mannerisms, given the way he's acting, he looks like he might be a creative guy. If you are someone who is viewed as a overly creative player, I really like re-raising in this situation with the nuts. Normally, when you have the nuts, you don't want to re-raise because it's really hard for you to get action because you, in this scenario with a full house, block your opponent from having a whole lot of 10s or pocket 9s or 10-6 suited if Tom somehow has that, etc. But if you're known to be a creative, splashy, loose, aggressive, badly player and you have a ton of money remaining in your stack, I think you probably want to put in the re-raise. This time, though, Steve calls. Let's go to the river.
Check back for spades.
Oh boy. A boat over boat situation for Steve now. Just won that wild one off Ryan Feldman. And now he's got it. And Tom Dwan is in deep, deep trouble. There's the raise from Dwan.
The river is the 7 of clubs, putting up a straight with an 8. Steve goes small. Tom definitely needs to raise in this situation because he has the best hand the majority of the time. And if he is against a 10 or an 8, he's probably going to get called. I know in this scenario, he is dead, but most of the time against a small bet, he's going to be good. Now, the question becomes, what should Steve do?
It's a small one.
Pot. Is that binding?
That is not binding.
Wow.
And a huge raise from Steve. Gonna get a count here.
Yeah.
60,000.
They're both 2 10s. How can I show you one?
I mean, I wasn't going to ask until you said, do I want to see one? Then if you want to show me, I want to see.
Can you beat it straight?
Steve, again, acts a little bit funny, a little bit confident, in my opinion. I can see the cards, though, to be fair. And he makes it 60,000 by shoveling his money in the pot kind of quickly. All right, Tom Dwan has the bottom full house. At this point, it's really just the bluff catcher unless Steve does not know how to read the board. Let's see what Tom does.
How much is it?
60,400.
Can I pay to see one? 100 bucks?
How much? No, definitely not.
100 bucks.
No, I don't know that. I can't feel like somebody's definitely losing if I show one.
And nice fold by Dwan.
Obviously. Do I have to show?
Yes, you did.
Full house is very strong, but facing that action, bottom full doesn't feel so good.
Oh, we didn't get called though. It's like, how am I going to spend all this money?
Tom Dwan really doesn't even give it all that much thought. He can read the board. He realizes he only beats a bluff or drastically overvalued made hand. And he lets his hand go pretty easily. And it turns out he was right. What I want to know, though, is do you think Steve's talk and mannerism at the table somehow influenced Tom's decision? Take a second, think about it, and let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be right back with my thoughts. And while you're down there, click the like and subscribe button for me, please.
Steve Heater.
好厉害啊！
And Steve continues to stack chips.
好什么？今天还想这么好厉害？他不要你。
I had 2 pair.
I got a little too greedy. You had a 9? You're not
3 fold.
Superhero fold.
Ace 9.
可以 fold 掉啊？
Oh, the best 9?
他这样打出来没打？
I show a 9, that
就
doesn't
就
make
已
you
经很大
call.
那次了。
哎呀。
This is a pretty cool spot because Steve has taken a really weird line of bet small on the flop, call the raise. Bet small on the turn, call the raise. Bet small on the river, re-raise the raise. And his mannerisms were pretty confident, at least in my opinion, the entire time. Now, maybe he's doing this all the time. And if that's the case, his mannerisms may not mean much of anything. But given his general looseness, smiliness, that looks really strong to me. Now, assuming there was no read, and this hand somewhat went down against a random player, I think you're going to be shown a full house a lot. Essentially, in this scenario, Tom needs Steve to be turning blockers into a bluff. But what blockers could he reasonably have in this situation? Well, the only thing that makes sense is maybe a hand like Jack 10, Queen 10, King 10 that he decided to min bet small on the river for value. He got raised, and then he thinks, well, I'm probably not good, so I'm going to turn it into a bluff to try to get Tom off of a straight or a full house. Maybe he would do that. I don't know how creative Steve is, but for the most part, in most games playing super duper deep stacked, this is a situation where you are going to be shown exactly a full house. And given Tom loses to all full houses, I think he has a pretty reasonable fold. Somehow, some way, Tom Dwan, master bluffer, also makes the good fold. Nice hand.